Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Hope you're doing good. Staying safe and all that. What do we got? This is that little 034 we picked up a couple weeks back. I basically just got it running and that was it. And honestly, the saw starts easy. It's been sitting a couple weeks. Fired on the 7th pull, which is pretty good for these older saws, especially if they've been sitting. But I just took it out, made a test cut. Thing just will not rev out. Extremely rich. The high jet on the carb, I show it in the video, is bottomed all the way out. I've not checked the low jet, but I'm assuming it's backed way out due to the bearings being shot in it. I think we may have showed that in the video when I got the saw, but I just wanted to make a cut with it or see if it was even capable of making a cut. It's about a 14-inch piece of poplar, I guess. 13, 14 inches or so, and it'll cut. Could you take it and cut wood with it? You probably could. You'd probably outcut it the 35cc Poland Pro though. It's that sick. Just won't rev out. Just doesn't have any grunt, any power. But this is going to be an awesome candidate to strip down and do kind of a restoration on. I've got bearings and seals and a crankcase gasket on the way, as well as some new rubber pieces. I don't know that it'll need an intake boot or an impulse line, but it doesn't look like it's ever been apart. And I just ordered the set that comes with the boot, the line, the fuel line filter, and all of that. It is aftermarket parts I'm putting in it, but it's stuff I've used before that I know works and know that you can kind of beat on and it not fail. So we kind of went that route with it. But what I need to do now is, which I'm almost positive it's going to need one after running it, because I can hear some of the worst piston rattle I've ever heard in a saw that's still running. We'll see if we needed a piston. I've located a couple. I think one was a Golf, which is not a bad piston. It's kind of up there around the quality of a Highway. And then there's a couple Meteors I found. They're a little more costly, but we'll just have to see. The funny thing is I do have a brand new 028 Super piston here, which is a pop-up. It's 46 millimeter, but that the 028 Super is 3cc smaller than this. This is I think a 54.5, 55cc saw. So there's going to be piston pin to crown differences, but maybe it may be to the better to where we can maybe just run a thicker base gasket or something, or maybe sand a little out of the squish band and run that piston with the pop-up in it. We'll just have to see. But worst case scenario, I'll just go in and order a piston. But I do have 2 sets of new rings here if I feel that this OEM one's reusable. But you may hear it in the video as well. But the piston's either slapping the top of the cylinder, maybe due to carbon buildup, or it's just that worn out that it's rocking back and forth that bad in the bottom end. But in case you didn't see before, I'll go ahead and pull this side cover off. I've got the end of that screech like a razor, is why I was kind of not pushing hard and being careful. And someone did have a 3/8 sprocket on this. That's good. It is downpouring the rain here. We might ought to have picked up a bearing. I'm going to try to zoom in on this. This will probably be kind of a long video series, but whatever. Hopefully you'll be able to see the wiggle in it. Hopefully you can see the clutch moving back and forth. I'm guessing the seals on the saw are still kind of trying to grab the crank, but it's a lot of why it won't rev out. And It probably doesn't have a lot of compression. I've not had a gauge on it. We may pull the top shroud off and do that, but what I need to do next is I'm going to go ahead and tear this down tonight. My parts will either be here tomorrow, Saturday, or Monday. Who knows how the mail is, but we probably will end up having to get a piston. But what I'm wanting to do tonight is see if there's any way possible that we could make one of those pop-ups work in it. I highly doubt it, but it'll be worth a try. Alright guys, got our gauge hooked up just to show you that's at 0. I'm going to give it, I don't know, 10, 12 pulls. That's probably way more than it'll ever need, and see what we got. She's actually really not that bad. I remember that first piston I put in one of my 360s, that's all it had, but wasn't broken in either. We got, I don't know, 130 psi. That's probably the only reason it was still trying to run. So probably the main problem with this solved PTO bearing failure from someone running a dull chain or chain too tight, combination of both, or just is what it is. The saw's not that bad. It's a little dirty, but it's fairly clean for its age. But we're going to tear it down, do new bearing seals, paint the cases, put a piston in it. Probably going to need it, and see if we can make a runner out of it. Alright guys, as you can see, this the pop-up is the new 028 Super piston I had. I've got the pin in. You can see we're probably, I've not measured it, it's probably 100 thou off. So that one's just not going to work by the time we took enough off the base to even get a decent amount of squish. The intake timing would just be horrible.
Squish?
Yes, squish. This piston's destroyed. The rattle I said you could hear in the video, I don't know that the camera will pick it up. It kind of is. Should be able to see a lip right here and where all the carbon's knocked off. It was slapping the squish band. Grease pin bearings wore out. Crank bearing feels alright. I think it'll be okay. But show you this cylinder. I'm not a fan of the port design. It's got I think I'll be able to cut that out of the intake port on a 360, which has a larger piston. Does not have that. It's just there for support for the piston. You'll see that on like your 038s, 024s have it, 028 has it. But on a lot of your later model saws, they don't have it. So I'm going to measure the piston, see where the rings fall at on it, see if we can cut that out. But open port design, not a fan of that, but it is what it is. The cylinder does look good. It's a fairly large exhaust port, we can work with that, but probably end this video here because I've got to go in and order a piston now, and honestly it'll be the beginning of next week before I get the parts here all for it, I think. So what we're going to do is wait on those parts and pick this up and make a part 2. And once I got to tearing in this stall, it was pretty dang dirty and filthy too. This one of them cases where it had been pressure washed. I've never seen that much grime on the inside of a handle before. It's normal to get it down here, but it is not normal to get it up here. I'm not sure what the culprit of that is, but I'd say we got a case where it just been pressure washed. But what's weird, it is fairly clean in here, but they could have had it apart and washed it in there, I guess. But anyway, I picked this up when we've got more parts and I've got the saw all tore down. If you guys want to follow, you're more than welcome to. see if we can make a good runner out of it. You guys stay safe and have a good one.